I have been in the European American football world for 10 years now. And I have to say, what I experienced last weekend in Vienna, Austria was unlike anything that I've ever been a part of here. We had the centralized media day with the head coaches and the star players of teams and a bunch of different creatives who all came together and produced incredible work from videos, photos, marketing campaigns, social media clips. And it was really, really something special to be a part of. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. But what I took away from that was just how much I love doing this media work for American football in Europe. Things like this show. It's these players and coaches who go out every week and entertain us. They give us something to watch and something to root for. And I just love being able to be a part of helping fans get to know these players and coaches. Doing stuff like this show is a major passion of mine, and I'm so excited to be here, and I'm especially excited to be here with my man, Danny Mitchell. Danny, we are 21 days away from kickoff for the AFLE season. How you feeling, my man?
Man, I can't wait till this thing kicks off. And you got a good taste of it last weekend. And I can't wait to hear about your experience at the media day and hear just the excitement around this league. So, Nick, I can't wait to get the show rolling, man.
Let's get it rolling, everybody. Welcome in the chat. We are live, I believe, on 5 different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook. If MySpace was still around, we'd probably be live on it too. So put all of your comments in the chat wherever you are watching on it. We will see it in here. I see Mike Mathis. Hey, now, for which stadium can I see you in again this year? Probably a couple, Mike. Hopefully, Danny and I will be at least a couple stadiums. Marcus Kintz, the man, is in the chat. What's going on? Frank, how you doing? Raymond, everybody, welcome on in. So, we've got a fun show for you. We're going to talk about the Gold Bowl. We've got an interview with the first ever Mexican player in the AFLE. We're going to talk a little bit about how European players are making their splash in the NFL. We've got the segment Draw It Up with Dan we're going to be doing a little bit later. And then, of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about the media day, media weekend, I should say, in Vienna and the AFLE officiating clinic. So lots of stuff to talk about today. 21 days out from AFLE football. First of all, Danny, you know what? Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Let's check in here. You know, this thing's going to really start heating up once the season actually starts. But Max, can you pop the scoreboard up? See, show us what we got. That hurts. It's 2 for me. Danny, you're ahead by 1 with 3 right there. And then the chat is winning currently with 5. It's Danny, all the guys who do interviews, they give the chat points. This is the problem here. We got to figure out how to win these guys over. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where our picks are going to come in. That's when the chat, you and I, are going to start getting into a little bit of a competition as these games start to roll out. We're really going to find out who knows European football, and we'll see if it's the continent of Europe, myself, or you, Nick.
We're gonna see, Danny. We're gonna see. I'm ready to compete this year. All right, so let's take a look here at the AFLE Gold Bowl 2026, which was announced on social media. You guys probably saw it. September 6th at Rhein Arena in Duisburg, Germany. All right, this has a capacity of 31,000 seats. I believe, Danny, the tickets right now are available from like 15 euros for general admission. I think $40 for reserve seating. And then it goes all the way up to the VIP ticket packages. But Danny, I'm so excited for this. I was at a European championship at this stadium previously. And man, I'll tell you what, this place gets popping. It's in a great area in Germany where there's, a lot of cities, a lot of population around. So this thing can get really, really packed here. You think there's any chance you're flying over from Alabama for this?
Man, I know we actually have a bye week coming up, so I'm really hoping to be there. But this is what this league's about, right? This is what we love about the competition of football, is to be in an environment like that. And like you said, Nick, in 2023, there was a championship game held there already. Man, this is going to be an electric environment. Can't wait to see who ends up playing out there in Duisburg.
Oof, yeah, man. I mean, we've got people have got their predictions, but here's the thing. Season has to be played. All right. And we're going to see who ends up there. I'll tell you what, I will definitely be there. Hey, Mike, I can tell you that. Get your tickets for the championship game for the Gold Bowl, and I will see you there. Marcus says, shout out to Max. Who are you talking about, Marcus? Is that Maxie, our producer? Shout out to Maxie, our producer. Yeah, he's doing a great job there. And shout out to Raymond there. And yeah, we're just very, very excited. And Simon, I see you say, what's happening with the London team? Hey, we don't have any other updates for you right now. Okay, we'll let you know when we do. All right, so Danny, I want to tell you a little bit about what happened this past weekend in Vienna. Like I said, it wasn't just a centralized media day, but there was also the AFLE coaching clinic, and they had referees and officials from all different countries, all different federations coming in. They also had NFL official Walt Anderson come in and conduct the clinic and give his knowledge and expertise. People got to ask him questions. I got to do an interview with him. This is a guy, Danny, that officiated a Super Bowl. And he was just very, very knowledgeable. And it was a really, really special thing to be there. And then, of course, at the actual media day, I was conducting interviews on site in person. Maybe you guys saw a couple of those or a little bit of that so far. But also, we had 6 different stations. Plenty of content was created, different types of photo content, video content. It's all going to be coming out here. I think you can see a little bit on there. And it was just a cool thing, Danny, to be surrounded by such creative people who are so passionate about football. Hey, there you go. You see some of these guys are there. Look at that. Jameson Wong in the middle. Isn't that cool?
Man, well, Nick, I have 2 questions for you. Number one, this is obviously an introduction of a brand new league. What was your first impressions of the league being there in person for media? What was that like? What was the detail of the league like?
Yeah. I mean, like I said in my own, I've been involved in European American football for 10 years, and this was one of the most legitimate professional things that I've ever been a part of. I was honestly blown away from all the little details, the logistics, the professionalism of everything. Also, what kind of really stood out to me was just how smooth everything went. How, you got a lot of talented people, a lot of different personalities coming together, everyone working for the consensus of one goal and really working together. So that was something super special to be a part of. And then you right here, look at these right here. You got Coach Fitz, you got the Alpine Rams guys right here, and just some very creative different visuals coming out. God, I like that right there. Hey, there you go. There's London. You guys see that?
There's London. Little
Danny?
sneak peek. Well, hey, I know you got to talk to a lot of people out there, Nick. I'm really jealous, to be honest. I wish I could have been there with you. But I do have a question for you. I'm going to have you play a little bit of favorites here.
Okay.
Which interview partner stood out the most to you as you had a chance to interact with everyone?
All right, Danny, this is a hard question because after the weekend, I looked at my notes and I realized I did 20 interviews. So 20 different players, coaches, officials, etc. Everyone really had something special. I had really nice moments with a lot of people. One that I actually really, really appreciated, and I keep coming back to, Coach Dave Likens of the Wroclaw Panthers. And this is kind of like a tough guy, old defensive coach. You don't think he's such a soft sweetheart when you see a coach on the sideline. He was just so pleasant. He really has such a passion for European American football. I mean, even like to the point where he was almost getting emotional talking about especially the homegrown players and the sacrifices that they make to be a part of all of this. And so that was really cool. And one question that I always like to ask people, Danny, kind of a off the field question, is what is something that people would be surprised to know about you? So I think that was my favorite. And we'll have a little short video of some of these answers here. But for example, Coach Likens, his answer was that he used to be a history teacher. And then we went down a rabbit hole of talking about history. And this was a very, very cool thing. Also, Jacob Sullivan, I'll have to say, this guy, I mean, we talked to him on the show, Danny. Yeah. Just such a professional, such a good guy, such a great player. Really, really enjoyed talking to him. So got to talk to some of the Firenze Red Lion guys, one of whom will be on this show later today. So overall, man, it was just very special to be a part of it. I just think all this stuff's going to be coming out. And it really helped set the tone and help me understand just how professional and how dialed in everybody across this league is. So it was something really cool to be a part of. So, Danny, what do you think? With that being said, I mean, I did tell you, I met a big guy this weekend, Abraham Chacón of the Friends of Red Lions. Let's get him on the show for an interview. We got him?
There he is. Our man,
Hey, guys.
What's up, brother?
How are you guys?
Good, bro. All right. There we go. Abraham, can you hear us all right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir. I
Hey,
can hear you better.
we met last weekend, and this was before you had really any chance to visit or check out the city of Florence. You've been there now about a week. Have you been able to go around Florence at all or check out the city?
No, not yet, because all the week we train and we train 2 times on the day. So this is the reason we can't explore the city.
Okay. All right. Well, when you get some time, we highly encourage you to go check out the city. You guys had your tryouts and your first practices also this past weekend. How did that go? What was the vibe like around the Red Lions facility?
Yeah, this was our first week. So the Lions got the USA guys, UK guys, Italian guys. That's our first week. They're gonna be more people in Italy. So that was amazing this first week.
Man, that's awesome, brother. Well, hey, Abraham, I'm so excited, number one, for you to be out there for the Red Lions, starting up a brand new franchise. I think there's an underrated person, a part of your organization that does need a shout out. Your GM, Bart, has been known to build great teams quickly. You know, I got to go against the Barcelona team back in 2022, and he collected a great team of talent, but great people. I'll be honest with you, man. There was a team when we played them back in 22, 3 of the 4 quarters in both of those games, and we played them in the playoff time too, they were beating us. So to be able to get a guy like you guys are in a position right now to be a hot start. And I want to shout out Bart for being able to build that. But I want to talk to you about that, actually. What started your football career? How did you get into football? Because obviously Bart had to find you, the staff had to find you, but what got you into football?
Okay, got you. Uh, First, Bart is a very amazing GM. You see that. Bart talked to me when I was not the Arcángeles in LFA. This seasons not want to play. So Bart, I know Bart was in Barcelona Dragons, and I think he was the GM. And there was a Mexican coach, we say black, Gabriel Sanchez, and
Oh, yeah.
he told him he is a very good player. Contact him. I remember the day. I remember that day because I was difficult the Arcángeles play. So I was sad. I was with my mom. But I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. I say that in that moment. But I have to say one thing. I'm a Christian, so I remember I prayed, and so the things happen for one reason. So that's the reason. And Bart contacted me, and I I didn't know the league, because I was in LFA, so I was focusing on only LFA, and that's the reason. The coach Gabriel Sanchez Black, he told me, "Hey, there's another opportunity to play in Europe," and oh, it's amazing. That was amazing, and that's all. After that, I remembered I meet another guy, Uri. He's from Spain, and that's really what it did. That was amazing.
And they say the rest is history. And now you're here in Italy getting ready to play in the AFLE. Abraham, let me ask you this. Okay. You guys are a new franchise. And, I know as players on a team, you want to ignore a lot of media stuff. But there's a lot of people with not such high expectations for the Red Lions. Okay. A lot of people choose you guys to finish at the lower end of the league this year. How do you deal with that? What's your take on that with your having an underdog mentality?
Okay. really nice. We are focused. We know the new team, like Alpine Rams. I don't know, but that's we take like an opportunity to ground our liver. I think the most important, like in a new team, we have to stay focused and our mentality is better every single game. It's an opportunity too for me play against top teams like Vienna Vikings, Firenze. So that's amazing. The level from this league.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys do. You have a great opportunity here, and you're going to be able to be playing against some of the best, most established teams in Europe. And it is a challenge that you guys are facing and getting ready for. Abraham, you said to me last week when we talked that one of your biggest strengths on the football field was your aggression. And you said you kind of go a little bit crazy on the football field, which I love to hear, especially with a guy like you off the field who is so nice. When it comes to being on the field, as a leader, are you a very vocal leader, or are you more of a lead by example type player?
Okay. When you play Mexico, there are a lot of type of football. So that's the reason you have to be very aggressive and you have to take the team in your arms, in your shoulders. That's the reason you can be a really good leader. So when I come here in Firenze, my first goal is not be a leader. Maybe you can be, but you have to how I work in Mexico. Go to the gym, eat very good, wake very early, wake up very early. So you have to show them the reason why you're here. So this is the most important to be a leader. Show them first, and next one, you're gonna be people respect, and that's all.
There we go. Abraham Chacón. Man, we really appreciate you coming on the show for a quick interview. We're really all looking forward to seeing what you do on the football field this year. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished. First Mexican player in the AFLE. A lot of people proud of you, a lot of eyes on you. So go out there and kick some ass this year. And don't listen to any of the media people who are picking the Red Lions to be at the bottom of the league. Don't listen to them.
Yes,
Did we lose him? Okay. All right. There we go. Abraham Chacón. Okay. Sorry for any technical difficulties you might have had there. You know, Danny, the internet down there in Italy, sometimes it's just as bad as rural Germany internet.
Well, I will tell you, it is, I do know this. I went out to Italy a couple of years ago, and it's 2 p.m. there. I know that's the siesta time. So, they're not shut down right now. So I tried to find myself something to eat, and everything was shut down. So maybe the internet's doing the same thing. But, I will say one thing too, Nick, and you said this as well. He was the first pick in the Mexican Pro League.
Yeah.
And I think that's one huge asset for the Red Lions to have an elite player up front for them to start fast. And with their quarterback game, man, McKay is a heck of a football player, man. To be able to protect him and let him do what he's capable of doing. We watched him last year take down the Paris Musketeers. I think they got a shot to be one of those sleeper picks this year.
Yeah, and Danny, I got to talk to their head coach, Bill Shuey, this past weekend. And he's a really interesting guy to talk to, really locked in, almost kind of like this killer mentality. He's coached in the NFL, a lot of experience in the NFL. He coached the linebackers at the Chicago Bears when Khalil Mack was there. So, he coached guys like that. And this is a guy who's very, very excited to be out here in Florence. I do think that this is the most overlooked, or let's call them the most underrated team in the league outside of maybe London. We'll see what happens with that roster. But I think that this is a team that not a lot of people are very high on just yet, which can be an advantage for a team. I think you've got expectations that you can beat, and I think that there's something positive there for the Red Lions. And just like you said, man, Matthew McKay, I also got to talk to him this past weekend, and this is a guy who's really, really locked in and kind of out to prove something. Had a little bit of success in Europe so far, a little bit of adversity with injuries, and then now back and hopefully getting a full year here to show what he can do. So, I'm not going to sleep on any team, Danny. Like we've seen what can happen in Europe, don't you think?
No, you're spot on, man. I think you hit it right there too. Having the mentality that their head coach has is going to seep into that organization. And what's really cool for them to be a first-year organization, that's what they're going to be known as. What an exciting time for the Red Lions, because they don't have anything to go off of in the past. So they get to establish who they get to be this year. And I'm excited to see what they put on the field, but more importantly, the mentality they play with for that whole 60 minutes of every game.
Yeah, man, it is really a cool thing to have like a fresh slate for an organization. And when you talk to these coaches and these players, basically what you get to do is you get to you get to lay the first brick of the culture of a program that will hopefully be around for a long time. And I think it's a very, very special thing. So looking forward to watching Abraham and those guys play. They also got a couple really, really talented import wide receivers. Who I think could really make a little splash. Oh, there we go. We see, Devin Carter and Aaron David. So they got some athletes down there in what I would say is the most beautiful city, or top 3 most beautiful cities in the world. All right, Danny, should take a quick break from the sponsor of the show, which is my other show, Inside the League. Let's take it away. We'll be right back. Today's guest on Inside the League is Bernhard Seikovits, fresh off 3 years in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. What are some of the biggest things you learned during your time with the Arizona Cardinals?
Bernhard Seikovits from Austria making the catch.
Probably something that I carry with me for the rest of my life.
We talked about his expectations playing in the AFLE.
I have not experienced professional football in Europe.
Yeah.
Last time I was here, it was Austrian Football League.
Signing back with his hometown team, the Vienna Vikings. How does it feel to be back?
It's a little bit of a full circle moment for me. It feels like home still.
His culture shock in the USA. Did you have any culture shock in your time in the United States?
One thing that is really a lot different is...
Would you consider yourself a competitive guy?
Did you ask Chris this? He has a fun story about it.
Does he?
I still remember the day that Seikovits was frustrated.
And if he feels pressure from all the expectations of an NFL player returning to Europe. Do you feel extra pressure from that?
Well, you feel the expectations for sure. Yes, I would expect myself to be a little bit better than maybe most.
Yeah.
So maybe I do put some pressure on myself.
Welcome to Inside the League. You guys got to be sick of seeing my face and hearing my voice, even having to deal with myself on the commercials. Danny, I'm sorry for all of this overexposure, man.
I love it, man. You've got the face for TV. I'm built for radio. I've got the face for radio. So, man,
we've both got the face for radio. All right, Dan. Well, that episode, and if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's with Bernhard Seikovits of the Vienna Vikings, who obviously was in the NFL for the last 3 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. And this is a guy, I mean, Danny, I ran into him, talked to him, sat down with him in Vienna this weekend. Big dude, man, just a big, imposing, big body guy. And then with those 3 years over there in the NFL and all the IPP training that he did, this is a guy that's, I think, going to just come back and probably be pretty dominant on the European-wide stage. I do think it's a little bit difficult. Tell me what you think about this, Danny. When a guy like that comes back, do you think that we might have unrealistic expectations for him because, he played in the NFL and now he's coming back to Europe. He should absolutely dominate, score 3 touchdowns a game. You think that's unfair?
I think that's fun for these type of athletes, right? He wants to be at that point. And obviously, yes, there's a high expectations for him, but at the same time, he's lived up to those expectations. It's the same reason why we talked about those power rankings a couple of weeks ago. There's high expectations for those teams that are up on top, but again, that's why you play the game, right? Vienna's put together a really good roster. We were talking about that pre-show. We saw some new signings this week that even shored them up even more up front. Alejandro coming off the edge now. The practices in Vienna alone are going to be just high level, high competition. And so ultimately, man, it's still about what you put out on the field for those 60 minutes. And that's why I'm excited about this league, man. They could be number one. Hey, Seiko's got high expectations, but I think the teams like a Red Lions, they want those challenges. And if you don't, this is the wrong league to be in.
There you go, man. Hey, and so we'll see. Sakovits has got high expectations. He's also got another very talented tight end right next to him on the field there with Beer Bomber. So speaking of guys from Europe who have had experience in the NFL, we've got a couple guys here to talk about. The European Football Goes NFL. Let's pop up a couple of these. First off, with Felix Lepper getting an NFL rookie mini camp invitations. I think he's got two. I think the Chiefs, and do we have who else he got invited by? I'm not sure. Might have been the Giants. But this is a guy, Denny. I think he's 6'8". All right, a 6'8" offensive lineman. He played for the Berlin Thunder, played for the Hamburg Sea Devils. He also went to Fort Union Military Academy in the United States. This is kind of a powerhouse for developing young football players. So it's really cool, man. Just another guy get a chance to go over and prove himself at the highest level. I love when we see European guys getting these opportunities. And then, Danny, I got a lot of questions to ask you about this next one here. Rhein Fire coach Luca Bertelmann has gotten the invitation for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Coaching Academy. This is something that you got to do previous years. Tell me about this experience that you got to have. What can Coach Luca Bertelmann expect? What did you learn over there? What is great about it? Talk to me about it.
Well, I'll tell you, number one, Luca, congratulations. It's such a great accomplishment and a testament to who you are as a coach. I also want to shout out Philip too, part of your old organization of the Unicorns. He's getting an opportunity there as well to see coaches from Germany, really coaches from all over the world get an opportunity at the NFL level. We were just talking about, Seiko. We were talking about Felix getting an opportunity in mini camps. That's what's exciting to me about European football. And I was very fortunate to be a part of the inaugural class of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Coaching Academy. And when I got to be out there, man, this was started by their ownership. Okay, the Glazer family, Miss Darcy. Okay, she is the one that actually started this specific academy, which no other organization in the NFL has done. And why I say that, why is that so important? What can Luca expect? She's going to expect a hands-on experience, not only within that organization, but ultimately what the NFL is run like. And what's so first class about it, Miss Darcy is with you the whole time. That's the type of investment that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have in this game and really in the world of football. And why do I say that? Coach Bowles will be with you the whole time. You'll get to know the staff and the other 25 members you get to be with. You got a picture right there. Those were the international coaches I was with. I consider myself an international coach. That's where I started. To my left right there, Esther's from Brazil. That's our man, Peter. He's from Germany. He is the national team coach there. And my man, John, he's out from Denmark. But to see how the game has grown throughout the whole world and getting an opportunity at the highest level with the most exposure. Luca, I can't be more excited for you, man. My only encouragement is to enjoy it, get to know the people you're with, because they will be with you for a lifetime. I am still in the group chat with our Tampa Bay Buccaneers Academy from 2024. We're still a part of it, so welcome to the family, Luca.
It's so awesome to see this. I love that Tampa Bay is doing this and giving coaches internationally the opportunity to get this experience. And I imagine if you go through this, it really builds your confidence as well as a coach. This is something I'm always curious about, Danny. What is it like when you go from coaching, like you've experienced coaching in high school, coaching in Europe, coaching at Division I college, but what is the difference than when you're on the field and coaching NFL players? Like, I imagine I would be a little intimidated going out to the field and being like trying to run indie drills or something like that. What was that experience like?
Well, I'll tell you, and this is, again, encouragement for Luca and Philip as they go out there. The game is the same all over the world. It doesn't matter. Now, what's going to be the difference? These guys are incredible athletes. That's one of the best parts. So what you're really getting to work with is a polished product, and not just how they play the game, but who they are. One of the most fun parts, and I bet a lot of these guys, I don't want to your experience here, Luca, because I think you'll see it for yourself, but you're going to realize, oh, this is very similar to how we run things with the Rhein Fire. The speed of the game obviously will be at a whole different level, but the people in that building are so caring. So this is a people game, right? They understand that in order to be able to be a Super Bowl champion, which they are, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I'll tell you, the network from that alone, our receivers coach here at UAB is the receivers coach here because of my time during the academy. He was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers receivers coach when they won the Super Bowl. His name's Kevin Garver. And at that time, he was looking for a new spot. That was a connection through the academy. I've got a Super Bowl champion here sitting in this room, in this building with us. And it was because of this academy. And why do I say that? That's the relationships you're going to get an opportunity to build and create for a lifetime. But going back to your original question, Nick, the game's the same. You're going to see a bunch of guys, the best ones, have a blast doing it. And you'll see that firsthand. And that's what I think Tampa Bay does with their culture. They set it up to where they play this game why they play at full speed is they love it. And I think that's going to be the most fun during that time when you're out there, Luca.
Love that, man. I mean, it's just so cool to see a guy like that. He also has a great social media presence, breaking down different schemes, different football game film, all sorts of stuff like this. And I love to see kind of young coaches like that combine old school traditional coaching on the football field with also sharing knowledge in the social media and age. And Ryan, good one there, and he's going to bring some expertise back to that team. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties today, so we're going to have to cut the show a little bit short here. We're very sorry about that. So draw it up with Dan. We're going to have to do it the next show. Get some of these technical things figured out a little bit. So apologize for that. We do appreciate you guys who are here watching today on a Saturday. Mike, Marcus, I see some of you guys in there. When is Coach Newman going to the NFL? He could. So
Yeah.
He could, couldn't he, Danny? So we apologize for that, but we appreciate you joining us for an abbreviated show today. We will be back next week, hopefully with some technical polished up. Appreciate y'all. Everybody have a good Saturday. See you next time.